In fact, you remember the story of Ezekiel and the dry bones. Ezekiel 37, the Israelites, the people of God, they've rejected God. They've rebelled against him. They've turned their hearts away from him towards the world. They're full of evil and idolatry and immorality. They've been exiled. And God takes the prophet Ezekiel and he brings him to this big valley full of dead bones, of dead people. And this valley is full of all these dead bones. And God says to Ezekiel, Ezekiel, can these bones live again? And Ezekiel says, oh Lord, only you know. In other words, not a chance, but I know I can't say that. And God says, Ezekiel, prophesy to these bones. And as he starts prophesying to these bones, they start rattling all over the field. One by one, bone by bone, they start to assemble together, and then flesh and blood and muscle and tissue begin to grow around these bodies. And then God says, prophesy breath into him, Ezekiel, and he prophesies breath, and the breath of God comes into them and awakens this entire vast field that now becomes an army of God. And it says, oh, my people, I'm going to open your graves and bring you up from them. Then you, my people, will know that I am the Lord, because only I could do it when I open up your graves and bring you up from them. And I think, isn't that so often like our story? We've rejected God. We've turned away. Evil, idolatry, immorality in our lives, and we're wore out. We're beat down. We're dry, we're broken, and our life is scattered all over a valley of death. In fact, Proverbs says, the crushed spirit dries up the bones. Some of you, your spirit has been so crushed that your bones and everything in you is dry, and you think there's no hope left. And then God shows up, and he speaks to you. And he calls those bones, those pieces of your life, back together one by one. And he breathes new life into you, and he awakens you. The God that gives life to dead things, the God that calls things that are not as though they were.